And part of that is I felt like, wow, and I've been clamoring for this for the last 4 years, is that we really need a broader vision in Waukee. We have a comprehensive plan. We have other subcommittees in around the city that have put together strategic plans. We have a strategic plan that lasts for 2 years on time. So every 2 years we go back and reevaluate it and those types of things. But there is no larger plan that says this is the vision for Waukee. This is what everyone expects Waukee to be. Now I know all of myself and my colleagues, we all have our own visions, and that's fine. And I'm not going to say they're bad or good or anything, but we all do have our visions, and I believe that it's the mayor's responsibility then to try to take all those and put it all together into one broader plan, broader vision. And I'm big into branding, and I know there's a number of radio hosts on this very station that talk about branding a lot, and I see that a lot also in communities. Every community has a brand, whether they realize it or not.
That's right.
And one of the things I look at is, okay, a place like Waukee, growth is not Waukee's brand. Growth is a symptom of something else that's happening. And so earlier we talked about the schools, and so that's one of the things I realized, hey, people are moving to Waukee because they're interested in this environment that the schools have caused.
Yeah, sometimes for no other reason. And when we moved here, one of the first things people said was, you need to look at Waukee for the schools. Not, oh, the houses are great, or they're cheaper or more or whatever.
Yes.
No other reason that, oh, the schools are great.
Yep.
And we ended up just on the other side of the border, but that's a different story.
Well,
Anyway.
it's not really that different of a story, because that's one of the things I'm realizing too is people have moved into this district, the school district of Waukee, in droves. West Des Moines, for one of the things I'm very proud of is the fact that Waukee is the fastest growing city in Iowa. That's not a take away from that. Percentage-wise, we've grown by 140% in the last 10 years, or last 9 years. We'll see what the number is with the official census data next year. But over in West Des Moines, the Dallas County portion of West Des Moines itself is only about 1,000 people less than the city of Waukee. And so that tells me a lot right there. When we look at our commercial development, which is something that really concerns me, is that the commercial development is not happening in Waukee for the most part. Most of it is happening in Clive and West Des Moines, those areas. And so
Yes, I live there, I know.
so when you look at it, we look at the long term of what everything we're trying to do, and you have so many residents moving in, then you start to think about how are we going to best fit the needs and meet the needs of the residents here in Waukee. There's only so many dollars that you get from rooftops, for instance. And so when people move in Waukee, they say, hey, we want a recreational complex because for all the kids, or we want an aquatic center, or we want a new park here, or whatever the case may be. There's a lot of needs that residents want. So how do you pay for those things? You have to pay for them somehow.
Yeah.
And so everyone wants to be, and everyone should be, concerned about seeing an increase in their taxes. We haven't had to increase taxes in Waukee. However, taxes have been increased in Waukee.
Right.
And the reason why I say that is because when you look at our tax rate is higher than any of our immediate neighbors that we share a common border with. I think Adel may be a little bit higher than us, but definitely with Urbandale, Clive, and West Des Moines, our tax rate is a lot higher than theirs is. And so when you look at that, and I see it all the time, if you're a business, if you're a homeowner even, and you have the opportunity to take advantage of the community that's been built in the area, the Waukee area as we like to call it, you're inclined, particularly if you're a business, you're inclined to say, well, I can still benefit from being in the area, but be on this side of the line. I can be in the Clive side or the West Des Moines line. And so, although we're trying to do some different things, we do have, for instance, a bad reputation with businesses, and that's something I'm really think that I can help fix with that.
Well, that's, your timing is impeccable because we are up against a break at the quarter hour here. But that, what I want to do when we follow up here, are you able to stay one more second? Are you sure? Okay,
yeah.
Okay. Well, you can just walk out on me anytime you need to go. So
Depends on what you say.
Exactly. So that's a great way. What we're going to do when we come back from this break is we're going to talk about that big vision. You said everybody has a vision, and we're kind of caught up in some small strategic plans, but we're not playing out the vision. And we talked about branding. branding. We talked about symptoms. When we come back, I want to see. I want to know that vision. I want to hear the shortened version, let's call it, of the stump speech. I want to hear, give me your vote speech, right? Because I'm going to hear this from just about every candidate in a lot of different races, and these are the critical times in many. I'd say in every community, but there's a bigger picture at play here, and the way that you handle things at the city level will automatically funnel up, feed up to the state level, the county level, the state level, and then who knows where from there. So, again, we appreciate your listenership. My name is Doug Mitchell. This is the OperationRedState.com Red back inside MaxWorldLive.com, Des Moines Local Live. My name is Doug Mitchell, and I am with OperationRedState.com. I'm filling in for the Realization Nation show, which is on every Tuesday from 5 to 6. Jason Keesaw, he was, I don't know, he had something to do, or scheduling conflict came up or something, and I was asked can you fill in? And I said, hey, I don't know if I have something that I can talk about realization, but I can certainly talk politics, and one of my favorite things, local politics, local candidates. I am talking here inside the MaxWorldLive.com studios with Isaiah McGee. And Isaiah and I have been chatting for now 45 minutes approximately, talking about his background, the common bond that we have of growing up in various portions of Southern California, finding our way to Iowa, and both agreeing that this is the greatest state in the union, and talking specifically about his very special and a slice of Americana called Waukee. Waukee is one of those places that everybody talks about when you're moving to this state, saying, well, you know what, the schools are great, you got to check it out. That's about all we heard about it. There's a lot more to it, and it's a great little gem in you describe it, I suppose, as the edge of the metro area of Des Moines.
I know we use the term Western Gateway to explain kind of the western part of downtown, but I like to consider Waukee the Western Gateway for the Des Moines metro area.
Agreed. I have nothing to say about that because I agree wholeheartedly. When you're coming in, that's pretty much where you land. Yeah. And so this is our last segment, and I know time flies when you're sitting here behind the microphone and you're having great conversation. We could do this for hours and hours and hours, I'm sure, and people would pay to get us off of this apparatus here. But I wanted to close up the last 15 minutes of our talk today, giving us that vision, that vision that's going to drive how you will effectively, I don't say run, because as a mayor, you guide. Mm-hmm. Do you set the stage? Do you set the vision?